Hi, this is Jo Painter of Confidence Coaching for Women.co.uk. And today I'm talking about, as you can tell from the title, how compassion and self-compassion can really boost your confidence. I think these two go really closely together. If you're not compassionate to yourself, you're going to be quite a harsh critic, which means that you're going to have a lower confidence and self-esteem levels. But what do I actually mean by self-compassion? Well, self-compassion is about being kind to yourself, treating yourself with respect and in the way that you would treat others. In fact, the easiest way to illustrate compassion is to think about others in a situation. So imagine, for example, you've got an important presentation tomorrow. You're feeling really nervous. You're worried that you're going to forget your words. You're going to completely seize up and you're going to be judged really badly. And you're struggling to put things down, to worry about what words you're going to use. So if that was another person going through that, what would you be saying to them? You wouldn't be harsh, would you? You'd be supportive and motivating and empathetic. You'd probably say things like, now you've done these presentations before, they've always gone well, you've never really struggled with forgetting your words, so why would you do that now? You know, of course you're feeling nervous, everybody would feel nervous, but it's going to be fine. You give them a sort of warm and kind response. But too many of us, if we're not showing self-compassion, will give ourselves a harsh time. We'll say things like, oh, for goodness sake, nobody else gets nervous like this, nobody else gets in a state, they just stand up and do it, why can't you? You should be able to do these presentations. You've done enough of them. Can you recognize that harsh, self-critical voice? Well, how does that harsh, self-critical voice work for you? Does it make you feel motivated? Does it make you get on with it and deliver a better job? I would think that's pretty unlikely. But if you were to switch that voice and actually go to your more compassionate voice, where you can be kind as you would to other people, be empathetic, be motivating, isn't that far more likely to give you a better result than to be harsh and critical? And then once you've been supportive to yourself and treated yourself with kindness and you've achieved something, you'll recognize that actually, oh yeah, the carrot works a lot better than the stick quite often. And that will give you the confidence to go on to do it more. So how can we build our self-compassion? Well, first of all, it's about recognizing when you're using harsh and critical words. So in what situations do you speak harshly to yourself? It could be when you're being quite quiet in a meeting and you've not contributed much. Do you tell yourself off? Come on, you've got to speak up. You're being too quiet. People think you've got nothing to say and that you're rubbish at your job. Or would it be in a situation where you've made a mistake? Do you give yourself a really hard time about that? Well, note down when those situations are, really recognize them and become aware. And as well, notice the language you use. Do you insult yourself? Do you give yourself a hard time? What sort of language are you using to yourself? And then finally, challenge yourself to change that language. Challenge yourself from jumping from that harsh critical voice to the self-compassionate voice that you would use with others. Imagine that you're talking to a friend that you care about and you really like, and imagine how you would talk to them instead. It takes a lot of practice, particularly if you've had decades of giving yourself a hard time, but has it been working for you? If not, then why not try something new? So let's all try to use our self-compassion voice instead of our harsh critic, and I'm sure we'll deliver better results. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like to learn more about how to be more compassionate to yourself and how to use that to really rock your career in 2018, then I'm running a free live training on Facebook in my Facebook group, Being a Confident Woman, and that's on Thursday the 7th at 1 p.m. I'd love you to join me, and all you have to do is to join the group and then just turn up on Thursday the 7th at 1 p.m. and I'll be there with loads of fabulous content to help you rock your career in 2018. This is Jo Painter of Confidence Coaching for Women.co.uk.